All right, welcome back. We continue right here on the Bordas and Bordas Hotline of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Bob Pompeani here, taking your calls until 11 o'clock. Join us on KDK-TV News, which follows over on CBS Pittsburgh, KDK-TV. And we have a lot of lines lit up. I want to first go to Twitter. Jared Starks on Twitter says, if Antonio Brown is dealt, that sets a bad precedent. That if you want out of a contract with the Steelers, all you have to do is act up and you'll be accommodated. Well, that's a good tweet. But the Steelers have never really lost a lot of these battles that go on. And, again, they control his future. They have 3 years left on a contract. They could very well not do anything with him if they determine that they can't get anything back in return for him. And, you know, they're going to want something of bigger value than what we've heard recently. So we'll see. There's a long way to go with this. And it will be interesting to see what happens if they somehow find themselves back in August at St. Vincent College and Antonio Brown is still on the roster. I still think that's the long shot bet. But you never know, and if so, will he arrive by helicopter? 412-575-2600. Let's go to Ed in Mount Lebanon. Hello, Ed. Welcome to the Sports Call.
Hey, Bob. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
You know what? I think Antonio Brown's a jerk for saying he wants to be traded, and I think the Steelers should show him, well, they should tag him for 3 years. That way he don't get to play.
Well, they don't have to tag him. He already has a contract. There's no need to do anything. He has 3 years that he owes them. And if he thinks he's helping himself by saying, I want a new deal, guess what? That limits even more the number of options you'll have.
Okay.
All right.
And I think the Penguins, I think Murray's going to do a good job tomorrow. He should win.
Yeah, he was outstanding last night. First came back from an injury, 50 saves on 51 shots. I thought the Flyers let that game go their way early. They had some legitimate chances early on. If they had converted, it might have been a different story. They missed the net 3 different times on shots that could have been goals. Let's go, but take nothing away from Matt Murray. He was awesome, and if he's like that, they'll be as good as any shot of getting in deep in the postseason. He returned to the form he looked like back when they won back-to-back cups, and he's dealt with a lot of injuries, certainly. So let's go to Mary in Scott Township. Hello, Mary. Welcome to the Sports Car. How are you this evening?
Hey, Bob. Good evening.
Hi.
I just wanted to say Antonio Brown thinks he's done with Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's done with him.
Yeah, but the question is, are the Steelers done with him?
Well, I think we are, and I think that should mean
I don't know. There are still
and
a lot of people that respond to him on Instagram.
One more thing to tell you. Your daughter, Selena, on Pittsburgh Today Live, she's just a little sweetheart.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
she makes that program.
Well, they have a nice program. They kind of
so much.
It.
I've been watching it for years. So much energy. It's such a nice young lady.
Well, thank you. We're very proud of what she's been able to do. But, yeah, watch that new show. Every day, Pittsburgh Today Live, 9 o'clock in the morning. David Highfield, Heather Abraham, Ron Smiley, Selena, and others contribute, and it's a lot of fun. But thanks. I appreciate it. Always nice to hear as a parent, for sure. Let's go out to Whalen in Washington. Whalen, welcome to Sports Call. How are you?
Hi, Bob. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Like, I know you don't have, you don't have a magic wand, but, like, in hockey, is there any way they could stop the fist fighting? I mean,
no.
Like, that guy punched him in the back of the head, man.
That wasn't a fight. That was a cheap shot.
Yeah, right.
They could have called a penalty. They didn't. And Malkin's got to control his temper, though. There's no question about that. You cannot let it go that way. If he had made contact with Raffles' head, who knows what might have happened, and it could be looking at a longer suspension. But the point was he put his own team at risk for losing a game they were in totally control of at that point. So that was, to me, deserved, but also the officials needed to call a shot to the back of the head is also a penalty, but they didn't do that. So we'll see. But, they're never going to get rid of fighting because some people like fighting.
Is that right? That's what I'm asking, yeah. They're not going to get rid of it.
No. I mean, they've had many opportunities. Now, it's totally gone down, the number of incidents, but, not like the Oilers with Craig Berube or Dave Semenko back in the day and the Bob Battleship Kelly days. You'll never see that again, but you do still see a fight. I don't necessarily think it's necessary, but the sport itself has had many times to get rid of it, and they've chosen not to. Thanks, Whalen. Appreciate the call. Let's go out the line for Bob in Clearfield. What's up, Bob?
Thank you. Thanks for taking my call. You asked for comments about the Pirates. I've been a Pirates fan, devoted Pirates fan going back decades. But I've simply given up, and judging by the slumping attendance, I may not be alone. The Pirates say that they're a small market team and whose revenue streams aren't as big as others. Okay. But instead of spending some money on one or two quality free agents, more productive free agents, they waste it on busloads of journeyman minor league free agents, Tommy John damaged pitchers who will never recover. And the fan base is trying to knock it through their thick heads, is that these guys in their late 20s, early 30s, if they haven't established themselves as premier major league players, they never will. But
all right, got your point, man. Listen, I disagree. I think there are revenue streams that come in from major deals, like they saw the Disney one-time payment last year of $50 million. They have plenty of revenue streams. Are they as great as the Dodgers and the Phillies? No. And that's why, to me, a system whereby you have a salary cap, a salary floor, and revenue sharing would help all involved and would make it an equal playing field for everyone to start a season, as opposed to having a payroll of $220 million and one that right now is at $70 million. That, to me, gives you no shot of winning. And I'm not trying to say that they need to go out and spend crazy money, but you do need to spend some to address needs that you have. They have a good pitching staff on paper. Young guys who I think are going to be, and the bullpen's going to be good. You got to support them with some other things too, and we'll see. Maybe the answers are internal, maybe not. And if not, they're going to be at a shortfall. Let's go to Donna in Millvale. What's up, Donna?
Hi, Bob. Nice to talk to you. You do a great job.
Thank you.
I'm calling because of I love my Steelers to death. I will never say anything bad about them, but this whole mess with two of our great players acting like second graders, we almost should play soap opera music when the sports comes on. And I was wondering, has anyone found out why this is happening to the great organization of the Steelers?
Well, they share some of the they share some of the responsibility for it by enabling Antonio Brown to have special treatment. Now, it's one thing to offer it and say, look, he's a tremendous player, and because he is, and that's not unusual in sports. But when the person starts taking full advantage of it to the point where it's become completely disruptive, then there's a problem. So there's blame everywhere to go around. But, largely it's Antonio Brown. People make it sound like the entire locker room's in disarray. That's not the case. Not at all. And I still think they're capable of coming up next year and winning their division. Cleveland's going to be improved, yes. I'm not so sure about Baltimore. We'll see. But Cincinnati, I don't know what to expect from them. So I think the Steelers still have a good shot. Now, they still have to do a lot in terms of, kind of making over their roster to give them a chance to, in this window of Ben Roethlisberger, to win a Super Bowl. And that's the ultimate goal. And you got to do more than just win your division. Yes, it starts there, but you got to do more than that. All right, let's go Marilyn in Mount Hall. What's up, Marilyn? How are you?
Hi, thanks for taking my call, Bob.
Sure.
DH has been in place in the American League for many, many years, and I'm personally not a proponent of it. I think it takes away from the creativity of the manager and the players. But why do you think all of a sudden it's coming up that it might come to the National League in a couple of years?
Well, many thought it would happen this year, Maryland, and it's not going to happen. But I think they want a uniform situation. I think they want to have both leagues use the same thing. Now, for years, it's never been that way. But also, I think the problem here, I would still like pitchers to be able to bat, but I think if they are allowed, then take it seriously. The problem we've had is they don't practice it. They don't go out and do anything. It's an automatic out in most cases. Why not take that craft? If it's part of your craft, you can win a game that way. You can win many games that way if you're a decent hitter. Ask Madison Bumgarner. He does it. We need to take a break. 412-575-2600. That is the number. Give us a shout right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call Bordas and Bordas Hotline. We'll be right back.